Hey you, it's Jess here and welcome back to my channel. We're doing another plan with me today for December 8th through the 14th, and we are using Christmas Memories from Scribble Prints Co. Just a really cute 90s feeling Christmas kit. Loved this art, I thought it was adorable, so I had to use it for this year. I just paired it with some silver foil, a holiday bundle from Carress Press. Although again, I kept it very simple, just bougie boxes and the bottom washi overlays. Did my usual color blocking. I thought the colors are really unique and interesting. Very much, it's still colorful, but a contrast to last week's merry and bright, super bright colors. So yeah, we're continuing on with Christmas. And what else in this page? So this week we got obviously the second week of Planmas going with a bunch of videos, mostly Plan With Me's actually. I had a lot of Plan With Me's to catch up on, and I'm sorry if you can hear Heidi eating biscuits behind me, but it's her lunchtime, so I just fed her some biscuits. And yeah, otherwise I was doing a lot of gaming. Oh yeah, I was working on a shop set. We got some news about Locke's job, which we'll get into. And then obviously the weekend ended not so great, but we'll get into that as we do the day by day. But I think the base turned out really pretty. Yeah, I was just feeling like giving the full boxes their due for Christmas by not covering up with foil. So we'll see how the foil goes on into the next year. I haven't started January yet, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm enjoying just a hint of foil here and there, and I still really enjoy using bougie boxes or foiled underlays underneath because it makes it so much easier to just pick up stickers and rearrange them, honestly. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that, but let's get started into the day by day. So of course, Monday, first thing, we have Coffee Monday, and then my Planmas video for the week, which was a Plan With Me. And then this morning I did play some Animal Crossing. Although I will say Animal Crossing doesn't last forever. I've kind of, even with the 3.0 update, I've kind of fallen off of it. Yeah, like the 3.0 update was okay, but it wasn't like groundbreaking, you know what I mean? So I've gotten into this other game, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, but at this time I was playing Animal Crossing every morning, which I really enjoyed as a pre-work thing. So that is Monday morning. This day we decided to order Korean food for delivery for lunch, and it's from a restaurant called Gangnam Bite. They're pretty good. And then I made a lasagna for dinner. Or did I make a lasagna last week and this was leftovers? I can't remember. But I just like to make, I've talked about how I make a lasagna at the moment. So I use a bechamel and I cut the beef in the bolognese to half lentils, just to make it a bit more economic and also less meat, which is always a good thing. Yeah, I did some work on my shop set, had lasagna for dinner, and we were rewatching One Piece anime at the time. So that was my very simple Monday. For Tuesday, we have another Plan With Me went up. At the beginning, I was kind of doing pairs of Plan With Me's between my other videos before we started like the big block of just Plan With Me's for a bit. Then Tuesday, so we had the Plan With Me. I played some Animal Crossing, which I think I'm going to put on a chubby little thing. And for work, I'm just using a Christmas deco sheet, doodle sheet from SPC, just to, I don't know, change it up a bit. I don't always have to use like an iPad or something, so I'm using these like Christmas sheet, which I thought matched. It doesn't match really color-wise, but I feel like it goes with the vibes and it doesn't like stand out like in a weird way. So then obviously I was still working on that shop set. Okay, and then we were watching some of the Jingle Jam, the Yogscast charity. Streaming this day, they did a Mario Kart tournament. So we watched that because that's always fun to watch. And then I baked some Australian meat pies. I guess you could look it up to see what it's like. Being from South Australia, it's all about Villiers. I think Villiers has the better meat pies overall, but I don't mind Balfour's if I have to have it. There's like 2 brands in South Australia, which is Villiers and Balfour's. Other states and cities have their own main brands for meat pies, but that's my favorite. Villiers is really my favorite, but obviously I've been missing some Australian food, so I made some Australian meat pies. I found a recipe for the filling. It's literally like just beef mince and onion, and then like Worcestershire sauce and ketchup. Well, really it should be tomato sauce, because in Australia, tomato sauce is kind of the same as ketchup, but it's still different. It's not as sweet. So anyway, I cooked that up, and then you just use like a short crust bottom and then a puff pastry top. And yeah, so made some Aussie pies for dinner this night, and I watched some little Simsy streams before sleep. There we go, little Simsy, that's Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we had my reading journal. I'm just updating, going through my reading journal, getting it up to scratch. I think that's when I like did October, November, December kind of thing. And then we have Animal Crossing, and this is when I did the, I mentioned this I think last week, I did a villager hunt, and my first ticket was Sasha the bunny, so I took Sasha because he was cute, and I didn't feel like villager hunting for too long. And then I did some filming as well for Planmas, because the filming never ended at this time. I still had a lot of big things to film, like by mid-December, so that was always just like in the back of my mind. So this is a weird way to put this. We had KFC for dinner, we watched One Piece, and then we were just like really lazy in December. We were just tired of everything, so we also got Indian food delivered, and that's what I'm using these big boxes for. I don't know, I didn't have much else to put on this day. I did a ton of filming and then a ton of nothing. Plus the fun thing about One Piece anime is that it's so easy to just binge, because the episodes like they don't feel like full episodes. You just want to keep going to the next one. So luckily there's like 1,400 of them to binge, but you know. So we've been watching a lot of One Piece, like 4 episodes or more a day. So you know, it's pretty easy to put them all together. And again, I guess every episode's like 20 minutes in theory, but there's always like 7 minutes of recap at the beginning. So you know, they go much shorter, but that is the first half of the week all finished. Excellent day. On Thursday, we had Plan With Me go live, just to sort of break up some of these videos here. Plan With Me, Animal Crossing, and then I actually did some work on this day. I think I was just having kind of I did a lot of filming on Wednesday instead of work. So I'll put these little stickers in. Really love these little, these Christmas icons from SBC to mark Planmas. Luckily an N kind of looks like an H, so I messed that up, but whatever. It still kind of looks right, a little bit. Okay, so this is the big day where we found out that my partner was not sacked from their job. They didn't get laid off. But basically for a whole month, Locke's work was like, okay, we're doing layoffs, and you'll find out eventually in December. And it was kind of like all this week people were finding out if they got laid off because they were getting rid of, I don't know, like 6% of the workforce or something. I don't know. It was a new CEO came in, and you know what they're like. Anyway, it's called mismanagement. But anyhow, luckily we found out this day that Luck did not lose their job. Huzzah! But and no one in their team lost their job, so that was nice. Except the team was kind of like dissolved and everyone was moved to other things. They didn't know what projects they were going to do now or what they were going to do at all. So the rest of the month was kind of like, Meh, who knows? Also having layoffs right before Christmas. Wow. Very cool. But especially when Finland has the highest unemployment rate in the world right now. So that's fun. Luckily we got through that. And then it was only recently, now in mid-January, that Log found out what they're going to actually be doing now at work, and who's really in their team and stuff. And I'll say that they're not too happy with it, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Now they get to work with AI, which they obviously they're a lot like me. We're both ethically and morally against AI, so. And not in the sense of actual artificial intelligence. It's all this fake AI that's not actually even intelligence. They're just language learning models. Like generative AI. It's just a learning model. It doesn't actually have intelligence. But anyway, I won't get into it now. Such is life right now. Anyway, so we celebrated them keeping their job by getting Arnold's donuts delivered. And we cooked a minestrone soup this day and watched One Piece. Okie dokie. We got Friday. Friday was part 6 of my Infinity Nikki journal, which I think was, that was finishing my first full Infinity Nikki journal, which I was very happy to have finished. I'm still working on the beginning of the second one. It takes a lot of time. The journal is very time intensive. But yeah, so we finished up the Infinity Nikki gaming journal #1 this day, and it covered the game. It's a live service game, so it's covered from 1.0 to 1.11 of the versions updates of the game. Then I played Animal Crossing and worked, as always, I guess, at the moment. Then the previous night, for us, I guess it's early morning, the Game Awards happened, so we did watch those. And good old Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley getting harassed by Miss Piggy, I guess. Yeah, I watched the Game Awards. I guess there's they put ads for other games and trailers and things in there, so that's kind of interesting in that way. We just keep up with Jeff Keighley stuff for some reason. So the Game Awards, and then we had oven pizza this night, and I watched Little Simji before bed. Alright, now Saturday. I think Saturday starts the big block of Plan With Me's. That's what we're going to be doing in our Plan With videos for a while. So we have Plan With Me, Animal Crossing, and then I did a big old clean of the kitchen. Big old clean. Sometimes you just gotta get in there and scrub everything, you know? Cleaning the kitchen. Okay, and then got a few little things here. Oh yeah, we tried out this new place that had salads Cafarino Oba, which I think is Turkish. I'm pretty sure it's a Turkish restaurant. They had really, really tasty fresh salads with pomegranate on it. I'm like, oh my god. I just love when something has pomegranate seeds in it. It's just always tasty. And yeah, so that was a really good salad. We haven't been able to catch them open since, but although they are open, you know, but I would love another one of their salads in the future. And then we watched One Piece. I'm finally marking that I played Nikki. I did play Nikki every day, all week, but you know, I don't have to mark it every time. And then watching Little Simsy before bed. Alright, and so now we'll do the last day of the week, Sunday. But obviously, you know, it is Plan With Me time because the block has begun. Plan With Me. And then we have Animal Crossing, but I think I played a bit more of it this day, so I'm going to give it a bigger box. And then obviously watching One Piece. So, man, we were really into One Piece at this time. You'll see later on as we go through end of December and start of January that we kind of paused on our rewatch of One Piece anime, and now it's January 28th that I'm filming this. We're now really back into our One Piece rewatch, but that's because we just got through the Marineford arc, and now we got to the 2-year time skip. So the Marineford arc, if you know, I sobbed like a baby. Even though I've watched it before, I still sobbed. It's so emotional. But anyway, yeah. Don't look it up if you don't want to be spoiled for One Piece. Yeah, I don't know. It's really good. Because obviously very important stuff happens in this arc and you don't want to be spoiled for it if you actually start watching it. So, alright, let me put these in. Then I have here that we did some laundry, probably washed the bedding because I try and do that on a Sunday. Then I played some Nikki, and I also played some, I'm gonna try and put in a box here and see what I can fit in here. We could probably scoot this up. Played some Nikki, and then I also played a new game that I got on Steam called Sticky Business, where you literally run a sticker business. You get to design using their sort of like templates and clip art and stuff. Yeah, you literally use like clip art that they give you to design stickers, and then you sell them. You have them on the website, like you can design, and then you like ship them out and package them, and it's very fun. If only if it was really like that in real life. But anyway, I enjoyed the game version of Living a Dream. But so I played Sticky Business. Definitely highly recommend checking it out. It works on Mac computers, so if you have, you know, an Apple computer, you can play it as well through Steam. And then of course, during this day or this night, the news came through of the Bondi massacre, I guess. That word's gonna get flagged by YouTube, but what happened in Bondi in Australia. So I wanted to mark that in there because obviously it was a huge, horrible event. And yeah, so I'm putting that in here. But yeah, so that was the end of the week. Alright, so that is the second half of the week all finished. So I'm going to quickly get it into the planner and we'll finish up. And here we are in the planner, all done. Another week of Christmas sets all finished. So you can kind of see like the difference. And then we're going to get a bit more neutral colored as we go along. But I think this is a really fun little week. I'm glad I used this set. I think it was it 2025 or was it 2024 this came out? Maybe 25. But I really love the way this art looks. It's really pretty and I love the colors. I always struggle with choosing Christmas colors, so I love seeing what other artists choose. But that was our week. It was, well, not a lot, but also a lot. Especially the end of the week here. But otherwise, a fairly typical week, I guess, other than the outliers. But let me know if you liked this by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Let me know in a comment down below. Maybe just some general Christmas emojis. I feel like those are the easiest to do right now for these Plan With Me's. But let me know that you enjoyed watching this by leaving me a comment below. or a emoji or anything else you want to say. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you keep checking in with me. So, yeah, I'll keep... We're getting so close to finishing up 2025. I'm so excited. I haven't looked really at my 2025 planners. So I'm really looking forward to doing a flip through of both 6 months of the planners. So looking forward to that also when we finish. But otherwise, yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.